Hello, Internet, and welcome to not Tidefall. You can probably guess by the fact that I'm sitting where I am. Surprise! We are here to play a different game today. We are bringing Wonderworld back after a hiatus. So before we get too far and people start to speculate, we have a bit of a schedule change for the present and the next 2 weeks at least. Unfortunately, Lindsay, due to scheduling and personal business, which I won't not going to air on stream, isn't going to be able to run games. Isn't in a setup where she can play and run and do all the streaming stuff right now, which we're all very, very upset about and have spent many hours crying over the past few days about, but are very excited to hopefully fill that gap and do something else in the meantime. So the scheduling changes that I'm referring to is that Tidefall is going to take a little bit of a break for a period of time. We're also going to put Apocrypha on the back burner for a little bit and do a new project, which is Wonderworld Origins, which we will be running on a bi-weekly basis here on Thursdays for a little while. And that is going to be run by both myself and my cohort, Ryan. Say hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
I could have written that down, knowing when I was going to write it down. And
I would have
hold it
put
up when you
money
said
on that one.
But yeah.
I know my role.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna co-DM. I'm emceeing today and just doing the talking just for expediency, but we will be alternating our MC or GM duties over the next few weeks when we're playing this game. So what are we playing? Like I said, we are going back to Wonderworld. Any of you that watched Wonderworld the first time around, it's a superhero themed tabletop RPG. We are doing some things differently this time though. For one, we are not using the Cypher system this time. Last time we played using Cypher. If you're familiar with it, it's a D20 based system. It was fun, but maybe not exactly what we wanted to do. So this time we are using a system called Masks, which is a powered by the Apocalypse, much like you saw us playing Apocalypse World based system. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. None of us have played it before, so we're all going to be learning from the get-go. But that's the first change. And the other change is to the subject matter. While last time we were playing Wonderworld in sort of this futuristic superhero setting in like the 24th century, and kind of this more sci-fi based. This time I think we're scaling it back and we're bringing it back down to the sort of, as you might guess by the title, the origins of the superheroes in this world, and getting into some of that a bit. And we're all going to be playing teenagers, high school age teenagers. I think that would put us between the ages of
14 to 18.
Yeah. Which is a time in our lives that all of us, I'm sure, are very happy to revisit. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be fun. But yeah, so like I said, I'm just sort of talking right now, but we should just get into it. I don't have any other announcements. But I sort of wrote up an agenda for what I thought we should tackle first, but I don't know if anybody has any preferences. I was thinking we should maybe flesh out a little bit of the world together and kind of talk about maybe the setting a little bit before we get into characters. I thought that might be a better way to orient things, unless you guys want to just jump straight into character creation. Anybody have any preferences?
Let's start with setting. I was going to say start with characters and then we can kind of warp the setting to fit it. But since we kind of already sort of have a little bit of an established setting, maybe it's better to...
Yeah, and I don't think we need to do much. Maybe just the city, the name of the city that we're in, and the name of the school we all go to. Might be the best place to start. And then we can kind of... That way it gives us a little bit of context when we're talking about things, and we can start putting places in that city. Because the book has a setting that it gives, which is like Halcyon City. Halcyon, I'm probably butchering
Halcyon.
that. Halcyon. Yeah. And that's a setting it gives you, and it's fun, but I thought we might come up with something ourselves, because we always have to complicate things here on Game Nights. And I thought it'd be fun to actually create a city in more of a DC universe sort of setting, rather than last time we did sort of a Marvel thing where we just used like Tokyo and New York City and stuff. I think it's more fun, maybe for our purposes, just to name something and then stick it on the map somewhere. Anyway, what thoughts on that? Anybody have any preferences?
I dig it.
No? Okay.
Very skeptical savvy.
She does look skeptical.
DC is Sean's favorite and Marvel is my favorite, and it's a big sticking point of our marriage. I think it's great. I'm just making faces.
Yeah.
I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I think it's good.
So I was thinking we should do something relatable, at least to our general audience, and probably do something close to home for us and do like sort of an America-based city. I know some of us are from America, and I apologize for that generalization. But I think for those of us sitting here at this table, doing like a Midwestern based to Midwestern to Southeastern, just north of the Mason-Dixon city.
Ew, no, there's snow there.
I was going with our general location, but just smack dab in the middle of these great states, placing something there. But anybody have any ideas, any preferences on where they would like this to take place? Metropolitan, I think is
Metropolitan probably offers us the most options and variants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fun if you're playing like a big city.
Yeah. I think that works a lot better than being like a one horse town and just
Nebraska.
Yeah.
All of
In the
Nebraska's
middle.
the same one horse town.
In the middle of a cornfield. Just
Apologies to any of our Nebraskan viewers out there.
I'm just teasing. Love you.
All two of you.
Both of the people in Nebraska.
The only two are watching us right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do we think? Let's start with the state, or a general region of the United States. We want to coast. Yeah. Well, I think the best way to start is like, do we want like, as far as setting, do you want to imagine it in like a coastal city? Do you want it like a landlocked? Do you want like a mountainous, a southern, northern, eastern, western?
Oh man, I love New York.
Yeah.
But I know that's so like
It's classic.
stereotypical. It's classic.
Yeah. I mean, we make our own sort of new, if we want something that's like on an island or like in like a like a bay or a some sort of water source. I think that also gives a lot of room for variance in our games. We can just have it all. It can be on the edge of an ocean, at the base of a mountain, at the edge of a desert.
So California.
Yeah, California.
Okay.
Let's do it. Cali.
We could do that. To do a West Coast city. Okay. So that narrows us down a bit. Okay, let's just jump right into it. Let's spitball names.
Ugh.
For a city?
For a city.
City
Metropia.
town.
Okay, I got Metropia. What was the other one?
It wasn't.
It was city town.
It was city town.
City town.
I'm just going to mute myself for the duration of this part of the conversation because I'm terrible at naming things.
Name it Small Town Cityburg.
Small town.
Largeville.
Largeville.
Oh man.
But you have some options here. You can do like West City or something, just like totally generic like that. Though I think there's already something like that in DC.
Central City. What's the Supergirl one called? I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah. But we could, you could do something like that's based on geography, or something that's based on, you want to grip a fake historical figure to name the city after.
I'm trying to come up with somebody who they would name a city after, and all I can think of is Doug Dimmadome. And we can't use that one.
I kind of want to, like, I mean, I'm just thinking, I can't get out of my head, like, Saved by the Bell and just go, like, Bayside.
Bayside City. Bayside Metro.
Or Janus Jopolis. Let's see. Yeah, and also, if you're in chat, feel free to make some votes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
With this and anything that we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We'll just throw the store out the window, and if you just have a suggestion, we'll just do it. Maybe, if we like it.
Let's see. I have books and books and books and books, and I'm looking at authors' names and seeing if I can transform those.
Kaiser so say this.
Yep. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Usual Suspects.
Oh, well, whoops.
I
That
can't
timely
imagine.
reference.
But still, I can't imagine someone going to that movie armed with that phrase and being like, oh.
Oh, I get it.
Yep.
And this is the rest of the stream. I was just sitting here staring off at walls.
Well, I went to a
I
town.
know, I should have prepped this.
I went to like a North American town name generator, and all of these are gibberish except for this one that says hamster. Which is what I think we should name the town.
Hamsterville.
In all of
Hamster.
these, it's just like a bunch of stuff smashed together, with this one just says hamster.
I don't know. I'm revisiting the Bayside or something something like that. I think
I
that's
kind of like it.
yeah. I think it does need something like something after, so either like Bayside City. I was trying to think of other
Bayside Bay.
Bayside Bay.
And the anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few ideas. Maybe come back to it.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Well, let's go with
Let it kind of
just gonna
poke around for a minute. Maybe we'll
Okay.
stumble
Well-
upon something.
I've got some of the Percy Jackson books, Olympus Harbor or Olympus Bay
Harbor.
or something.
Oh, that's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, I can do that.
Olympus Bay. It's the name of the. Oh god, Olympus. Okay, we'll put that down, and then, like you said, we can come back to it and think about it some more. Because the next thing I had on the list was talking about the school name, but we can also come back to that if we feel like that's going to be too difficult. Because if we're just going to do like Olympus Bay High and just make it really easy on ourselves, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. All right.
Olympopolis.
Olympopolis.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a pass on that one because I can't say that with a straight face. Olympopolis.
Olympopolis. It's just fun to say.
Is there anything else anybody thinks that we should talk about anymore? Do you guys want me to? Actually, most of you weren't in Wonderworld last time, so I don't know if I should talk a little bit about like.
Half of us were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, I kind of imagine. Oh, actually, I want to come up with like a time frame because we don't have a year set, and a Wonderworld took place in, I think it was the year 2355. It was like way in the future. So I was sort of imagining in my head doing something more like modern day, like 2018. But
It's an old video game cop out of 20XX.
and we all have Walkmans and iPhones.
Yeah, is this? I mean, okay, so it's modern day. Is this like world adjacent to our own? Like is Taylor Swift a thing? You know, like cultural
was.
references.
She was, God bless her. She is one with the void now. And that's that she didn't pass. She's just part of a void monster that has become sentient.
And now we know the boss of Ryan's first arc.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. You know, like,
Swiftening.
I don't know, because I was just like trying to think of my like when I was thinking of my like character and like what they might have been interested in high school.
I mean,
And so I was wondering like how close to our world is this world?
I like the idea of it being like either, I mean, where we could use references of movies and stuff that actually exist, and like going to watch like the latest Avengers movie and stuff, and you know, making that sort of references.
Yes.
Okay. Or, you know, and also doing the TV thing of when we actually introduce one of those characters on screen, because we can't actually get them into our show, we like create like a sort of knockoff version of them, like, you know, I can't think of a good version for Taylor, like Jessie Fast or something instead of Taylor Swift, and she sings country music and is very popular.
Cute.
You know, something like that.
I like it.
I mean, I'm cool with that. I don't know what you guys think, or if you guys want to totally lose pop culture references.
I mean, I kind of, yeah, we can do that and just have fun with it, and I think that would be valid. I also kind of like the idea of doing it in 2055 or 2035 or something like that, to where we can still use all the pop culture references that we have at our disposal, and without having to like punify them necessarily.
Okay.
But we do get to like play with like, you know, what the future of these people that we know actually looks like. I think that could be fun too.
Yeah, I like that. You know, because maybe like a little bit in the future, so we can play around with a little bit with technology and saying that, like, you know, so maybe like a tad bit sci-fi, beyond what we experience here in our day to day.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm cool with that. Anybody voting for like going back to the 1980s?
I think it'd be fun, but I wouldn't know enough references.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'd say it
That's
will
all
be
the music I know.
Yeah. At that point, I would imagine that 80s will be popular again too. Like by the time that we.
It's like how people now are bringing back swing dancing.
No, that won't last. There's no way.
Well, I don't know.
They tried to bring back ska for like an afternoon. They're like, no, we were right the first time.
There was a swing dancing club at my college.
Okay.
Sorry.
There's lots of clubs. I don't know if that means it is social movement. Right. Cool. So kind of mid 21st century.
Okay.
Maybe.
I like it.
Let me see. I'm putting a year down. So you said 2055 or something like that.
Yeah, that was just like 300 years before what you were talking about.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I was wondering, like, do we want to go, are we talking about you want to do like 20 or 30 years in the future, or we want to do like a full century ahead later on? We don't want to go too far. Like, where all of us are going to be like cranky old people, like the year 2060 or something.
Dude, I'll be dead by then. I will definitely be.
So 2055 works. So it's sort of poetic, doing the like exactly 300 years before like the last campaign and stuff, and you know, more balanced. I don't know. Not like anything like super big happened at the last one that would herald the procession of this, but I have done a lot of threes in this. I'm realizing as I'm scrolling through my notes, so that 300 actually kind of tracks.
Just feels right.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Okay. 3 is the magic number.
Yeah. Well, because I think so kind of bringing some context for those of you that hadn't seen the first Wonderworld, I'm just putting down 2055, and we can change that later if we want to, is that the whole concept is that in the late 20th century, there was the discovery of an and this was like the historical context of Wonderworld, is that in the late 20th century there had been a discovery in the human genome of a mutation that existed, or that was present in about a third of the world's population, and it became sort of known, or kind of what they discovered is that it had its cause or its roots in a lot of sort of abnormal traits in people, like maybe being more resistant to diseases, maybe being having a little bit higher IQ in some cases, running a little faster, basically like some positive traits in people. It was discovered that third of the population was more prevalent in them, so they just kind of correlated it with that 1/3. And then eventually what ends up happening, and I think that's where we're at right now, is that about 1% of these people, of that third, this mutation manifested in improved or superhuman abilities, and super intelligence, strength, psychic abilities, things like that, flying. And then that grew and grew and grew, and those people began saving the world and doing incredible things. And then organizations formed around that, and so on and so forth. And I think we talked about this a little bit beforehand. People wanted to say that maybe our characters are like some of the first to, like in a very like heroes fashion, the very first to develop these superpowers and trying to figure out what to do about it before the world really learns about superheroes. Which is a little different, sort of abuts a bit with the cipher, with the mask system, which has a lot of its roots in assuming superheroes have been around for a while. So we'll kind of figure that out as we go. Okay, so explain that in a little bit of narrative there, and that's about all I'm contributing to this now. Anything else you guys want to flesh out before we start talking about characters?
I think that's the gist of it.
What grade are we in?
That's an excellent question. Do we all have to be in the same grade?
No.
Ooh.
I think
No,
we should all be in high school. Definitely.
Yeah. No, we don't all have to be in the same grade. Although it's going to be hard for me to hang out with you if you're a freshman.
So Ryan's going to play senior.
No, I actually don't. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's something we talk about when we start going through our characters, because I think we should just go one character at a time and kind of push and poke people and make them develop their character a bit more, and maybe learn a little bit more about the world as we do it.
Okay.
Does that sound good? Okay. Do we want to roll to go first, or do we want to somebody want to volunteer?
We can roll.
Let's roll.
Yeah, let's roll.
Oh man.
What, there are 5. You just want to roll D100, and whoever rolls lowest has to go first.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, did you already roll?
No, the thing I rolled before was to try
was
and
for the
nail
year.
down the year.
Oh, that's cool.
Whoa.
The D100s and roll 20 love me.
Well, I'm not
Oh,
going to roll
boy.
because I shouldn't go first because I'm doing all the talking. So that's Savannah.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I guess I should prompt you.
Are
with
there
something.
instructions?
No, I was just sitting here waiting for you to talk.
just talk.
Yeah. What? I guess so. What we're choosing between, or I guess I should talk about what we're talking about. We're making characters in this game, because our characters, our playbooks, if you're familiar with the Apocalypse, Power of the Apocalypse system, are referred to as masks, and we each choose a mask. Which is, I think, separated into the Beacon, the Bull, the Delinquent, the Doomed, the Janus, the Legacy, the Nova, the Outsider, the Protege, and the Transformed. I think we'll get into one of those because each one of us is going to be playing something different. So we'll go through at least 5 of those, and I think that's fair. I'm not going to sit here and talk about what each one of them does. But we all choose a mask, what our superhero identity is, and that also tells us a little bit about ourselves. And then we sort of build from there. So, Savannah, which mask or masks are you thinking about playing?
Oh no, this is good because Savannah already knows what she wants to play.
Okay, good. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to be playing the Doomed.
Surprising no one.
Shut up! Will you guys quit bullying me?
I thought she was gonna pick the bull, so
I thought about it.
I can see why that would be maybe a third option for her. Maybe a second or third.
I don't mean to bully you. I know your love of tragic characters.
Ryan's bullying me.
And
all week.
yeah, Ryan's bullying you. Ryan's
Ryan
definitely
always
bullying
bullies
you.
me. That's okay.
I'm not though. I'm very nice.
Yeah.
So you're playing the Doomed. I gotta pull up the Doomed.
Thank you, chat. Chat says hashtag don't bully Savannah. Okay.
Do you want me to read the description for the Doomed?
I can
do you...
read
Okay.
it. I have it pulled up. I'm just gonna turn my music down a little bit because this one is loud. It's the slanty words, right? Is that what
I'm
you're
actually gonna change music, and as we switch things up, now we're moving on to a different subject.
Just something very dark and dramatic, like me.
No.
Music.
Evanescence, just
Oh, it's the Wonderworld music.
It is the Wonderworld music.
Do. Okay, so I'm going to be playing the Doomed. Something about your powers dooms you. It's just a matter of time before your doom comes for you. Until then, though, you've got a nemesis who needs fighting and a world that needs saving. After all, it's better to burn out than fade away.
In the classic rock place.
Thunderstruck.
Yeah, I like the description there. I don't know if you're gonna read any more of it, but the literal next sentence, which is the words that describes tragic, melodramatic, powerful, and driven. And I think the tragic and melodramatic are really what.
Oh, I'm
Where
just
is
looking at
that
the
part?
playbook.
Oh, I'm looking in the actual.
Yeah, I just pulled from the playbook, so.
the
I just like it.
Yeah, I do too. So tell us a little bit about. So we start out with all the characters. So rather than it gives you a little description, and then we have to go through the look and abilities and nemesis and all that stuff. So let's at least do some of it. Do we want to like skip around and like do a couple things for each person and then move on to something else rather than have everybody do it like all of theirs at once? Because that seems a little bit much.
Yeah, especially because a lot of them include like, okay, who has influence over me or who do I give influence
Yeah.
to?
Yeah. So let's do like the first couple, and then we'll move on to
Okay.
before everything except for backstory. We'll wait and we'll do the backstory next. So, so what's describe your character?
Okay. My character,
Do they have a name yet?
they do have a name, is a 16-year-old girl named Olivia, who I almost named Charlotte, and then I remembered that my other Wonderworld character's name was Charlotte, so I didn't do that. So her name is Olivia. I don't have a last name. Did think that far ahead. And she is preppy. She's kind of tall, pretty slim, very pretty, like popular girl, kind of. I'm trying to think. She has got long, kind of wavy, like red hair and green eyes, and she's pretty much always smiling all the time. Super happy to see everyone. Yeah, that's kind of what she looks like. She wears expensive clothes. I'm pretty sure her dad's probably rich. She wears like expensive like name brand clothes, and always like she has like a different handbag for every day of the week. And she's
You're
awesome.
playing Molly Ringwald?
Maybe.
That's what it sounds like.
No, I hadn't actually thought of it, but kind of.
We're going to be comparing all of our characters. to
Breakfast Club.
So
Yeah.
she's.
I think
she's
that should be our superhero team name, by the
the
way.
Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, so she's
The Dinner Squad.
sort of tall,
Brunch
very
Club.
pretty, very popular, very preppy, like always kind of in everything kind of person.
The Brunch Bunch. Okay, yeah. I dig it. So let's see. I'm going over so that pretty much goes through your whole look. What year are you?
She's.
I know you said you're 16, but I don't. That could be.
Well, it depends on.
Sophomore, junior, unless
Sophomore.
you're skipping some grades.
I'll say junior.
Okay.
And she's a junior, like aiming to be class president next year.
Okay.
That kind of person.
What are your abilities?
Okay. I'm still kind of trying to decide. But I get to pick 3 from the 6. I don't know if everybody gets to pick 3 because I didn't read all the other ones. But I'm definitely going to do psychic constructs. Just making things with my brain. Oh man, I guess I'm just gonna have to decide. I'm gonna do psychic constructs, superhuman strength and speed, which is 1 together, and memory manipulation.
Okay.
Yeah, are the 3 I'm gonna do. Let me put them on my sheet. Yeah, I'm doing brain powers again, but I like doing brain powers. Where are those on?
There's not a lot on the sheet, to be honest.
Is there like a place I can put that?
I think you just put like your bio and info.
Okay, that's fine.
Because yeah, the sheets on Roll20 are a little bare bones. Gives you enough to roll with, but okay. So those are your powers. Let's see, and then you get to choose a nemesis.
Oh no.
Have you thought about that?
No.
Okay. Do you want to wait on that?
Yeah.
Okay. That seems a little more backstory stuff.
Yeah, I think I'd rather think about that one a little bit more.
So I want to poke a little bit. Obviously, we want to get to everybody, and But so, do you see your powers manifesting in a certain way, like that combines all of these different like abilities you have into something? Because the book talks about like, super like flight and different things. It doesn't have to be, these are interpretable abilities. They're, it's not like these are set in stone. So, your memory manipulation doesn't have to just be you poke somebody and it changes their memory. It could be, you have smoke that goes into their head and messes with things and stuff. But
yeah, I don't know. For her, I feel like I'm kind of leaning into like, because psychic constructs was really the power that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the other 2 are really cool, but I think I'm kind of leaning a little bit more into this, like all of her power comes from her mind. So I don't think it's like sparkles and smoke and things like that. Like I think all of her strength comes from her like brain power and her brain and her ability to like create things and manipulate things. So I think like maybe that's even where her strength and speed come from. I mean, maybe there are some sparkles.
So like her literal ability to use your brain to manipulate her own body.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's where that comes from.
I dig it. Okay.
She thinks herself really fast.
Do you have a superhero name yet?
No.
Okay. Well,
but I am open to suggestions from literally anyone. I'm so bad at coming up with names.
Does anybody have a suggestion?
What?
Queenie. We'll see. We may have to figure out what other people are playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll all think about that and everybody make notes and talk about it. So that introduces the first character. I've already forgotten what your character's name was. Olivia. Okay.
Super prep.
The people left want to roll again, or do we just want to go by whoever rolled the second highest? The second lowest.
We can go with that.
Okay. So Ryan.
Yeah.
What you got?
Well, what I'm looking at is I think I'm looking at maybe being the outsider. The flavor text for that being, you're not from here. Your home is an amazing place full of beauty and wonder, but there's something to them, referring to you, something special that you're missing back home. Something human, I think. So yeah, you'll be hanging around, at least for now. Strange, curious, naive, and arrogant. The outsider isn't from here, but that won't let them stop them from creating a life for themselves right here on this planet. So I think the kind of like the conceit, I think, is like, you're like an alien and everything's like strange and alien to you. But like, I also kind of like the idea it's just an exchange student from like Canada. But still all these ways are so different and strange, and America.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Like something like that. Like either, like something that's not super outlandish, because I don't know if we want to bring in aliens at this juncture.
I mean, I think it could work, and I think being a Canadian exchange student could be the cover story until
it finds out that I know nothing about Canada.
It's like Third Rock from the Sun or something, or Morgan Mindy.
Oh yeah, was it? Yeah, was it something? It was either Third Rock from the Sun or maybe like Coneheads, or like, oh, they're from Canada or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah. So okay, then I may or may not be an alien. So, but that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Do you want to? Let's figure out how alien you are as we get into the description of your character, because there's some weird options. I was looking at the outsider earlier, so you get to choose your look. Do you have a name?
I don't know. I want it like, I haven't thought of that yet. We'll come back to that. I can't decide if I want it to be something like, like Sven or Philippe, or just like Bob. I'm like, hi, I'm Bob, or something like trying to like fit in, like a real try hard fit in name. But I'm not sure. I'll come back to that in a second. But the look, well, before I describe the look, I think one of the powers that I'm want to go for is radical shape shifting. So, which kind of, I probably have like this is what I look like at all times for people at school. Mm-hmm. This is my school face. But let's see. So here are some of the looks I can choose from. Strange body, animalistic body, neon body, human body. I think I'm gonna go. Well, I don't know, but I think I present human most of the time. And I think, I like the idea of like kind of like flashy but mismatched clothing. Like just a weird version of what someone who doesn't know what cool is would like kind of throw things together. Like, I haven't thought about this yet. So, like, oh man. I mean, I could see him also wearing like a tracksuit, and a hat. I don't know. What do people wear?
I feel like this person should just dress how Ryan thinks a normal person should dress.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how we dress here in Canada. So,
I like the idea with the shape shifting. Maybe their outfit and stuff change. Like they're always trying to do what's cool to fit in.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Whatever the newest fad is, they're like right on it right away.
Yeah. Just make yourself look like me.
Classic look. That's a very look.
What's your other power?
There's lots of them that I can choose from. like heal. I know that heliokinesis is like probably controlling sun stuff. There's telepathy and mind blasts.
Everyone Googles heliokinesis.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. Solar manipulation.
Yeah. There's alien weaponry, which is quite vague, which I like. But
Hockey sticks and hockey pucks.
I'm also I know, right? I have net. I can fly, and I'm pretty tough. That's like inherent.
Yeah.
To select, but I don't. I kind of want to. I want maybe like stunning beauty or pheromones. Like, is that weird? Or do I want to blow stuff up? What's density control? Is that like
would be
being
like
really,
the vision phasing through people?
is
Or
that also like being
kind
really
of.
heavy and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be. I mean, again, these are all up to interpretation. Like it's whatever you want it to be, really.
Then I would do the density control, and that way I can like maybe turn into a safe and also weigh as much as a safe. So that'll be helpful.
That works with the radical shapeshifting though, because the density issues of shapeshifting into smaller or bigger creatures. Anyway, we're not going to science too much here. I don't care that much. Cool. I like it. Is that it for your like first few things? Is there anything else?
Density control and radical shapeshifting.
Okay. I want to see that character more, but let's move on to a different one.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's going next?
I can go next. Okay, so I just have like ideas for her. I have no idea what her name is yet. Or what grade she's in. But she's very cute and she's a little chubby. But she is pretty fashionable. Like she makes her own outfits. So I like pictured her making like potentially outfits for the team someday. But yeah, and she is the Janus.
Okay.
So she has this like very hectic normal life and then also does superhero stuff on the side. So she has like all these other like responsibilities. Like she has like I feel like she has like a job. She's like one of the lead members in FCCLA. Stuff like that. So like really involved in like school things and a little bit in work things, but then also has these powers, which so the Janus or how do I say this? Janus doesn't matter.
I would prefer Janus.
Janus. Okay.
I would avoid Janus, and I would go for either Janus or Janus or something.
Janus. I like it.
I think that's worse.
Janus. I mean, hey, you know what? It's whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Anyways, so this.
You can Oxford English Dictionary pronunciation it later.
Exactly.
Janus.
Janus. So the thing about them is they sort of hide behind their they wear a mask essentially. But they have these superpowers, and the things that ones I was thinking about were energy absorption and substance mimicry, which to me looks like she can turn herself into stone. Or I'm trying to think of that X-Men character who can do like.
So she's turning herself into the substances around her.
I think so.
Okay.
I feel like that's part of it. Again, these are all very vague, so you can kind of interpret it how you want. But then can also like absorb these elements. And then she has heightened physical ability, so strength, agility, and toughness.
Okay.
On top of that. Yeah.
And I don't think we did this with Ryan. What year are the two of you guys in high school? In ages. I don't know if you did ages.
I appear 16. I have a license that says I'm 16. Or something. I don't know if I actually can drive, but an ID that says I'm 16. And I'm a junior. Or, yeah.
Okay.
We have 2 juniors.
Juniors. I feel like because she's so busy and like probably maybe has like a nasty beat down car. I bet she's like a senior.
Okay.
Very busy senior. Just going back to my own senior year of high school.
Okay. And we'll get more into the other stuff. Because is that it? Did you do your description and stuff too?
Yeah. So I'm still trying to decide. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out a few things, but I feel like she's maybe Asian.
Okay. All right. And that just leaves 2 of us. So, Alex, you go first.
Sure. So I will be playing the bull. You're big, strong, and tough. You know what fighting really is, and you're good at it. Sure, you've got a soft side too, but you only show that to the people you care about most. Everybody else, they can eat your fist. Now, despite what that description just said, I've actually been thinking of my character as more of an intellectual, and just the powers being at odds with their personality, kind of.
Okay.
So the abilities, someone or something changed you, made you into a perfect weapon, superhumanly tough, incredibly strong, and uniquely skilled at fighting, and I decide how each of those abilities manifests.
Yeah, and I think this was actually the specific one, like in the book, it was talking about like superhumanly tough could be like you heal really fast or your skin turns to iron or stuff like that.
Yeah. Which I haven't, fully decided one way or the other how I want all the powers to manifest yet, but I've at least been thinking, most of the other ones have, the heightened physical abilities, but I think the point of the bull is like even a step above that. Because otherwise, like you're all flying around and shooting lasers and stuff, and I'm just running around punching through walls.
Well, we need something to fly through. So
yeah, but we'll need to figure out exactly where the limits on those abilities are, and how exactly they manifest. And I have some ideas, and I don't know if we want to get into that now or do that.
No,
later.
you can. I don't have any problem with you doing it now unless anybody else does.
Yeah. So for superhumanly tough, I'm trying to decide if I want to be like Luke Cage bulletproof, which I think whether I want that or like Wolverine regeneration or both. Why not both? Why don't both?
You're just Luke Cage, but with Wolverine hair.
Yeah. I think probably go with Luke Cage-ish invulnerability. For superhumanly tough, incredibly strong, probably similar scale. So it's the like, I'm trying to not just say he's Luke Cage, but that's where a lot of the comparison for the power set is coming from in my mind right now. But then for incredibly skilled at or uniquely skilled at fighting, I think it was actually that he was taking martial arts at one point, and like something about the changes that turned him stronger just like made it so that he was okay at it before, but now he's like super black belt level.
Like it.
The Immortal Iron Fist.
As long as you don't act like the Immortal Iron Fist, we're fine.
No. So some of the other things, I think his name is Ian, 18-year-old senior, because I like the idea of, potentially a consequence of if he gets caught, he can be tried as an adult, and throwing that tension into the mix. But so 18-year-old senior, still deciding on ethnicity. Let's see what some of these looks are. So male, uncertain ethnicity. I think calloused hands. So the calloused hands, dirty hands, inhuman hands, battered hands. I think calloused, baggy clothing, ragged clothing, dirty clothing. I think casual clothing. And I think a simple costume, so probably like Peter Parker's homemade Spider-Man level costume.
Like it.
Yep. So yeah, that's it for look and abilities for now. Oh, and I do have a superhero name ready. I don't know if the others. Lambast. So Lambast, which has two definitions. It means like a pummeling, but both physical and verbal. So obviously the physical part makes sense, but also witty repartees.
He can beat people up and roast them while he's doing it.
Yep.
Yes.
I love it. It's so good.
I like it. Did anybody else do costumes? I realize I don't think anybody else described their costumes yet.
I can describe my costume in like a few words, I guess.
Sure. Anything to stall, so I don't have to do much.
I think she looks, well, I think it's very like Starfire kind of deal, but like pink, like bright pink, fun, like midriff top, skirt kind of deal, gloves, probably a fun like headband, very cheesy, like berry kind of. I think if Elle from Legally Blonde had like a cheesy leather superhero costume, it would look like
Back
that.
to the leather.
Yeah, I like leather. I think yeah. I think that's what my costume looks like.
I like it.
Not like, I say bright pink. I don't mean like hot, like a magenta.
Not like Legally Blonde.
Not quite like Legally Blonde, but I think like maybe a little. I said Elle from Legally Blonde, but like a little less like powder puff pink, and a little more like magenta. But like yeah, kind of Starfire, kind of like Super Elle kind of thing. That's what I look like.
Nice.
Which is fun because she has like red like auburn hair, so it's like silly, but it works, I think, though, somehow magically in my mind.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think my soon-to-be named character, I can't figure out a name for her, but she wears a mask, but because she's like into clothing design stuff, I think she actually has like 10 different costumes and just like switches through them, kind of like Cardcaptor Sakura just has a whole bunch of them.
I like it.
So I don't know what they look like yet, but she's got a lot of them.
And Ryan?
I think it's just like maybe if his like natural form is just kind of this kind of translucent or like kind of see-through body with like a jellyfish body or jellyfish skin, and like with like inside you like see like prism veins running through it or something like that, but just kind of a maybe just like that form, and not really an outfit, but just jelly body. in a
humanoid shape.
In a humanoid shape.
So Sean, what are you playing? Thanks, Sean. Thank you for asking. I feel weird prompting myself. Somebody else ask me questions because I'm not just going to do this to myself.
Sean, what playbook do you want to play?
So I think I'm going to play the Delinquent, to no one's surprise.
Oh, wow. Yes, we are so surprised.
So the Delinquent, you've got these cool powers, but everyone keeps telling you how to use them. You know what they need? Someone to give them trouble, to make sure they don't always get their way. And hey, you're the perfect hero to do it. So I was thinking a lot about this. So my Delinquent's name is Rose Amari. She is Middle Eastern. Has short, like really like very short, kind of spiked silver hair, which people think she just dyed, but is actually sort of like a part of her power, like changed the color of her hair when they manifested, do the mutations. She doesn't wear spiked all the time at school and stuff, kind of keeps it down, but she's sort of like a kind of a surfer type. Has a van, like a really beat down van that makes just a huge racket in the school parking lot. That is probably like straight out of the 70s and somehow still running. She has, let's see, going through the look here. A choice between laughing eyes, jaded eyes, untrusting eyes, and hateful eyes. I think I'm going for a little bit lighthearted. I think laughing eyes. I think she's much more likely to have a smile on her face while slowly plotting how to screw with you. Ragged, sort of like surfer clothing. Again, sort of looks like, I think looks and dresses like a beach bum. Let's see. I don't know what else to do. What did everyone else do?
What abilities did you choose?
Okay, I chose. So your powers are messy, deceiving, or frustrating. And I can choose 2. And I chose teleportation. And power negation. So I think these required a lot of, I was thinking about them a lot, require a lot of like interpretation, because teleportation can mean a lot of things. You have like the Nightcrawler type, can just basically teleport anywhere. And then you've got more of like the say like the Naruto style, like you gotta like tag something and then you teleport to that thing. And I was trying to decide which way to go and what's more interesting, especially since my other power is more situational. So I think her teleportation is more kind of perception based. Like a place that she sees or can imagine in her head, and that's where she can go, seeing pictures of it. Kind of like I was actually kind of pulling it from like the movie Jumper, is more of what I was thinking. And I don't know, and Ryan left, so I can't ask him. I'll wait till he gets back. But I was trying to decide whether like the teleportation would be solely like personal, or like could teleport other objects, like what the limits of that are, or maybe still like trying to figure those out.
Well, at the very least, I would hope that you teleport with whatever you're wearing. Otherwise, that would be very awkward.
Yeah. I mean, it's like things, because obviously there's the assumption if you're teleporting, like you're teleporting with the things that like you're immediately carrying. But it's like, again, with the movie Jumper, like you could teleport yourself really easily, but then you could teleport like cars and stuff as long as they were moving fast enough. or you could teleport like buildings and stuff. If your adrenaline's high, like as long as you're holding on to something, you could theoretically like teleport it with you.
Ryan says he's listening.
Okay.
And what do you want to ask him?
That's what I was going to ask, is what he was thinking, what he thought about the limitations of that, because that's sort of his realm as a GM when I'm playing. What that sort of teleportation could theoretically grasp, or we just kind of define it as like as you're developing your powers and stuff, and it sort of grows as you do. And maybe at first I can only teleport myself and like small tchotchkes, and then later on I can teleport more stuff. But that might be something to talk about more in gameplay, and because I'm sure everybody's abilities are going to grow and stuff. And then the power negation, I was drawing either from like Eraserhead in like My Hero Academia, or trying to figure, or if it's like a rogue thing, like you touch somebody and you take their powers away from them. But I liked the idea of the power negation being like a miasma effect, that again can like turn. Why are you yelling at me for stealing all your ideas?
Because when I was talking about in chat what my character looked like, I said it was like a combination of like Rogue and Starfire.
But I don't look like Rogue.
And then also I had mentioned. That's fine. Stop stealing all my ideas.
But I like the power negation as being like a miasma thing, where it's like everything within a proximity of her, including her own powers, get turned off when she uses it. So she can't teleport and negate things' powers at the same time. But when she like focuses on it, can like negate the powers of anything within like a certain radius. And again, maybe that continues to grow. Like maybe at first it's only like, 10, 15, 20 yards or something. And later on, maybe, as she develops, can try to push that to the point where she can develop, like negate the powers of everything in like a, half a mile or something like that. So I liked that, but I like the fact that it's totally unbiased in that it would negate my ally, my like friends' powers, and also the powers of whatever we might be going up against. So it's a
anti-magic.
Yeah, like an anti-magic. Yeah. So yeah, that is Rose Amari.
Yep. Ryan says, I think it's some kind of thing that disrupts the mutant DNA of powered individuals.
Yeah. Isn't there like the X-Men thing? I remember in the third movie there was the kid.
Don't talk about the third movie.
No, but we're going to talk about it right now, because in the sense of there was the kid that was that they were using to create the negative X-Men sphere, he had that sort of thing. So that's what I was thinking about. Cool. Well, that is Rose.
She sounds cool. Did you say how old she was?
Oh, she is a sophomore, but she's 17.
Oh, she got held back.
But not because she is not intelligent. I think she is very intelligent. But I think she is a total slacker.
Grades are not a measure of your natural intelligence, kids.
Yeah, that is true.
Take my lesson home with you.
And I think that's sort of what Rose would say in that situation. Okay, so we have gone through everyone's characters now and got an idea of their powers and the look. Oh, and the costume. That's the only thing I didn't say. So I think her costume is the ones I had to choose from were skimpy costume, showy costume, ridiculous costume, cheap costume, and no costume. And I kind of go between the cheap costume and no costume options, and saying it's like a hoodie and like some nicer like running shoes. Like she doesn't have any money to go out and buy or any skills to like make a costume with, so maybe she stole some things that looked like superhero costume material.
For some reason I picture a luchador mask. I don't know why.
No, I don't really want to go with the luchador mask. No, thank you. I appreciate the input, but no. But I imagine her like when she got the powers and was teleporting around and like, you know, going places and stuff. So I was like, I need a costume if I'm going to start like trying to be a superhero, and just like teleporting into like a Hot Topic and then over into like an Old Navy and then back to like a Reebok store and then just like teleporting into different places around the mall. Like,
You're like, what's his face from Arrow? Who for a while just ran around in a red hoodie.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Roy.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, I guess. But maybe a
He had
little more
spiky
legit,
hair, I think.
like stole the nice like Nike brand like sports gear instead. I mean, if you're gonna steal it, you might as well steal big.
Robbed an academy.
Yeah.
Good job.
So anyway, that's the character. So do we want to take a quick break and then come back and do the rest of it?
Sure.
And then hopefully Ryan will be.
Because I have questions about my playbook.
Yeah, we'll go through some more rules stuff when we get back, and we'll kind of maybe roundtable a little more like as a group instead of just like be like, what do you do, and just kind of do it all together. Okay, yeah. Let's go back. Be back in 10 minutes. Sound good?
All right.
We'll be back in 10 minutes, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing to build our characters in prep in our session 0 for Wonderworld Origins. We just got through and talked about whoever is playing and their powers and their I think we did costumes, which is very important. So what do we want to talk about next? So I kind of wanted to do, yes, man.
I have a question.
Yes.
Everyone is surprised. I know. So we talked, this is a lore question, I guess, so I don't know if you guys have thought about this, but so we talked a little bit about integrating the pop culture and things like that. But you might have said this and I wasn't listening, but I want to ask it again for myself anyway. Are superheroes like a thing? Because I know we're like the first superheroes, but like are comic books and stuff a thing? Like, can you watch like, can you watch like Supergirl on TV or?
Ryan can weigh in on this.
Stuff like that, because that's what I want to know. And I ask this because this is probably going to play into my aesthetic when naming my superhero. Is like, are all the good superhero names taken? Like that kind of thing.
Well, I think we kind of bounce this around a bit. I definitely think it would be weird to do a world where we just like pretended like, what are these heroes that are so super? What do we call them? Wonder people?
I don't know. Lots of movies have done it.
Punch fighters.
Oh, that's my superhero name. Punch fighter.
I think that would be really cumbersome. To pretend like we live in a world that no one's ever thought about the concept of a superhero before.
So we're like the universe where like, oh my god, you're like the kid from the comics.
I like that.
Okay.
I like the heroes sort of like idea that some of us might be really into comics and have like based our characters off of, or based our identities off of our favorite superheroes.
Really like that idea.
Somebody make an argument to the contrary if they feel strongly the other way.
I think it's great. I just wanted to ask for clarification, and also so I knew whether or not I could make my character a secret comic nerd.
This isn't an argument about that. It's just kind of a related thought. So like you're saying, like all the good names are taken, but like the first superhero is like Superman, I guess. Like literally could have chosen anything because nothing was taken.
He could have been Punch Fighter.
Superman.
Honestly, I've had a lot of thoughts about Superman in my life, and none of them were that. I've never thought about it that way. That is the
Yeah.
worst superhero name. Like One Punch Man is a better name than that. At least that tells you what he does.
It gives you a story.
Yeah. He almost named himself superhero. I mean, he was one step short, one gender neutral term
Is that
short
in
of
the
naming
comics?
himself
Because I don't
superhero.
really read DC comics.
No, I'm saying Superman is one short of having just named himself superhero.
No, I was asking you if that literally happened or if you're just making that up.
Yes, he
Okay.
did. He sat there for a while and thought about it. It's way back.
I know a lot more about Marvel stuff. you
That's
guys.
an issue number 4
Yeah. It took him
of
4
Action
issues to say his
Comics.
name.
Okay, nerds.
They just called it guy who flies and punches stuff for like the first 3 comics
Yeah.
before coming with something else. Let's talk about names since we're on the subject.
No, it's not what I wanted this to lead into.
I mean, unless somebody wants to lead into something else, but that was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you all still need your names. Y'all need to step up.
Well, y'all
lamb.
need to help us come up with names.
Yeah,
So
I got nothing.
I have nothing.
I thought of a name. I might change it, but I think I was gonna go with the name Recall.
What? Like
Because
Total
of
Recall?
I like it.
yeah, except not. But yeah, but I liked it. 'Cause
Anytime
the-
anybody says the word recall, that's what I think of.
Well, because I liked it because of the teleportation thing, being able to because it's perceptual, and then also the ability to negate powers and take powers away from people. So I thought
that's
it
a
worked on
cool
2
name.
levels. I wanted to do like something Recall, but
Total?
super no, Super Recall Girl.
I mean, Recall on its own works fine. I think most,
Yeah.
like, I was about to say most names should just be one thing, but then I immediately thought Wonder Woman.
And
But
Spider-Man.
yeah, but I think
I think
by and
Spider-Man's
large-
technically one word.
yeah, because it's hyphenated.
That's true.
But
I think I'll just be Mutaboy.
Mutaboy. I like it.
I also like it. Man, see,
Silly fun.
last time we had like time to come up with our names, and so I was able to ask Twitter over the course of like 3 days, and they named my superhero for me. So, Cerebellix was a super cool name. Thank you, whoever on Twitter named my superhero last time. I don't remember, but you did great.
Well, let's talk about the powers here. So we have, because I think that's a great way to start with the superhero, because you're not gonna, be a shapeshifter and name yourself
Morpho.
Spider-Man or something. Yeah,
I mean, I guess if you like turning into spiders.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, so I have brain powers, mostly. I have superhuman strength and speed, but that's connected into what I have is memory manipulation and psychic constructs, so I can create things with my brain.
And you have a pink costume.
Yeah, being costume. Yeah. That's what I got.
The Pink Witch.
Like the first iteration of Scarlet Witch, and then they're like, nope, this isn't good. We should redo this.
We not to go away from that because that's a good starting place. We did have a suggestion from Lindsay in chat for Ryan about Aspect. That's the name of your
No.
no.
He wants to be Mutaboy.
Want to be beautiful? So Savannah, how about Aspect?
It's a really cool name, but I don't. It was created for someone else, and I am an original.
About
Summoner, sorceress. I don't know how generic you're
I don't
okay with
know.
it being.
I just wanted to sound cool.
Wiccan what?
And my
And she's a
cover story
DJ.
is I'm a DJ. I'm a DJ at the mall.
And Morgan, what were your powers again? Because I might have to bounce around.
Energy absorption and substance mimicry. Like one thought that just popped in my mind was like the shield, like protecting
Whoa.
people, like blocking things.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That does give you a good.
I'm not 100% on that one, but I do really like it.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Also going back to fan, you could always do like the Batman thing and just pick something random and just build your character off that. It has nothing to do with your powers or anything, because Batman doesn't have the powers of a bat or anything.
Okay.
You just pick like Fish Girl and you just make everything about fish and don't explain it.
Something my character would like.
It's like the
Gucci
band
Man.
Fish.
No.
Gucci.
Gucci Man. I think that's a rapper.
Yeah, I think so. And Soldier Boy is also a rapper.
Also take.
Yeah.
Oh man. Maybe I should just be a rapper instead.
Usher.
No. No.
Some mind stuff. The color pink. And Doom.
Chris Angel.
But I have to imagine, like, okay, do we come up with our names, or no? I guess we would come up with our names because nobody knows about us yet. Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah. Crap. Hold on. I'm gonna go to a name generator.
I was doing the same thing. Superhero name generator.
God, I'm really bad at names, you guys. I keep telling you this.
I mean, it could be a thing where it's like you don't have a name, because I mean, like, we're still, like, we're figuring out who we are. We're figuring out how to be superheroes. And so maybe
Shadow.
That's a song.
Sorry.
So no.
I don't know.
Man.
Ethereal Fox. I don't know. The Scarlet Warrior.
I don't wear Scarlet though.
The Terrific Ant. Gentle Swallow.
Nope.
Nope.
Stop. Why'd you even read that? You know what would happen.
And that's precisely why he did it.
It's just right there.
I like this one that this generator came up with. Master Magnificent Fox. I don't. I'm not.
Sparks.
This is a terrible. I don't do anything with Sparks. This is a terrible.
Your
name
stuff could
generator.
look like Sparks. You name yourself Sparkles.
No. I'm much more dignified than that. Man, this is hard.
The Jolly Nighthawk. How about that?
You're just saying things and not helping at all.
The Hot Eagle.
What are some, like,
I'm done
what
with
are, like,
this.
psychic words or like brain words or like.
I'm just reading stuff to fill in the silence while the people are actually thinking about good names.
Yeah, I mean, the prefixes Telly, Sari, Sai,
Fantasia.
Actually, I
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
but yeah, Fantasia could work.
Thank you, superhero name generator.
That's actually kind of fun.
It took 8 clicks and I got a good one.
Lindsay's in the chat just saying Savannah, and I don't know if she's saying I should name my superhero Savannah or if she's scolding me for something. It's probably
Your
the same.
superhero's name is Serengeti. But yeah, if going Fantasia, I would vote PH.
PH
'cause-
Fantasia.
'cause otherwise, it's Disney.
Or
That's
Copyright.
cool. I like it.
the Dapper Vindicator.
No. Oh, I forgot to show you guys my shirt. I did this during the break and no one saw it, and I forgot I was wearing this Sailor Moon shirt. But this is kind of what I imagine my costume looks like. But pink. Can you guys see?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
I imagine it's like that. Let's do Fantasia.
Okay, Fantasia.
like it.
And then Morgan, were you going to go with
I don't know. I feel like
I'm clicking on some more to get ideas.
Lindsay had suggested Aegis, Rampart, Array,
Rampart is cool.
but wasn't that an awful movie with Woody Harrelson or whatever his name is?
I don't think I watch his movies.
Uh,
I mean, that's not true. I've seen movies with him in it.
Yeah.
he just sounds cool.
That's pretty cool.
Bulwark.
Hey, Karma was on this list. We already had a superhero by that name in this
did.
game. We did. I'm actually partial to Aegis.
Mhm.
I like that one. But I think Rampart's also good.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll come back to it. I think I need to
No, you
wander it
must
more.
know. No, I'm just kidding. You can wait if you want. We're just going to have to refer to you as Hey You until...
Hey, you.
Your options were way better than mine. Mine were like One Punch
I'll give-
Man and Fantastic Mr.
I'll-
Fox.
I'm going to give one
And-
more to you. One more idea. The nuclear grasshopper. Just...
What is this generator that you're on? Is it? I don't want to call anybody out.
Or
But
the
it's
Dapper
probably the
Spider.
same one I was using.
Yeah, the fantasy name generators. Okay.
I do love that generator so much, though.
Lord Macho Illusionist. I'm done. I gotta get off this. I'm just gonna sit here and do this for the rest of the night. Okay.
Wait, I'm changing my whole character concept so I can call myself Lord Macho Illusionist. And I'm gonna wear a luchador mask.
Yes. Someone needs a luchador mask.
All right. So we talked about, we got names, general ideas for kind of like the superhero side of things. Do we want to? So just revisiting some other stuff, recapping. So the city name, we were thinking Olympus Bay. Still sound good? Still like that? Because the other one was Bayside something, or Bayside Metro, Bayside City. And then we can go.
Morgan
With,
looks like she's thinking real hard.
No, I just like.
no, you're playing the Beacon, right? Is that the Janus? Never mind.
No, I thought about playing Beacon, but
That's
in
right.
thinking more about this character, it made more sense to do Janice.
Yeah.
What about Beacon City?
That's kind of cool. Beacon High.
I'm just thinking because I don't know if any of you all watch Ruby, but the main school there is Beacon.
Oh
Academy.
yeah, it is.
That's
isn't
true.
it?
But we don't, so we can do it.
I think it's cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess just as long as the school we go with isn't Beacon Academy.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Is
We
this
could-
a public school? Because they usually don't call those academies.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I say
Or-
from personal
What kind of
experience.
school is this?
Or maybe our city was saved by the first hero, Kevin Bacon, and we go with
Bacon High.
Bacon High.
Yes.
The first hero.
The only
him-
true hero, Kevin
Called him
Bacon.
Dance Man.
Okay, Star Lord.
Oh man. Okay. I like Beacon though. Do we want to put to
I think it's cool.
Beacon City, Beaconburg, Beacondale,
Beacon Bay.
Beacon Bay.
Beacon,
Which just sounds a little bit like shake and bake when you say it out loud.
Beacon, Beacon, Beacon.
Dogs don't know it's not Beacon.
Beacopolis. No, I think
Yeah.
Beacon City works.
Mhm.
And then we go with Beacon High. Okay.
I like it. It's cool.
I will go with that.
Also, aren't superheroes supposed to be like a beacon of hope and all that? I don't know.
I mean, that's the point of the Beacon playbook.
Is
Yeah.
it? You guys know I don't read.
Mm-hmm. That sort of works with the theme we're going with. Like, we're the first superheroes, and they rose in Beacon City, and it sort of works on like the whole superhero thing, where the name ends up being
Yeah.
foreboding. No, not foreboding. Is not the word I was looking for, but you know,
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. That's your name should be foreshadow.
Words and stuff.
Oh man.
Okay. All right. So then we've got Beacon High. Or do we just go Beacon High or like West Beacon High? Then we have rivals East Beacon High,
Oh, we can have a sports.
North
Ball.
Beacon High. North by Northwest, Beacon High.
I like North.
North Beacon High.
Beacon Low.
North Beacon High. We'll change it later if we want to. But anyway, so we got our characters. So I think most of the backstory stuff we gotta talk about how we all know each other and do this stuff. So we got backstory that I think all of us can do it individually. It's like I don't mind. It's like I don't know if everybody's is the same. How do you get your powers? What do you do for fun?
No, some of them have some of.
Okay, do
similar
that.
Mine are
thing.
way more dramatic than that.
Oh yeah, yours is like how do you learn your doom?
How did you learn of your doom?
God.
Why do you oppose your nemesis? Where did you get your sanctuary? Who outside the team is crucial to defeating your nemesis? And why does your team matter to you? That's a nice backstory question. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got ones that. So some of the assumptions for the bowl seem to be that I was like a medical experiment, because it's like who changed you and how did you escape from them? Which I don't know if
gosh.
I'm thinking more just like, X-Men style. The changes just kind of, the mutations came on around puberty, that kind of thing. But they manifested with the tragic moment in his backstory.
Yeah, and you could again interpret that loosely if you want to go that way. I mean, I guess people shouldn't feel bound by the mechanics of the book, but if you want to stick kind of close to the book, you could probably interpret that, maybe some sort of like abusive relation, like your family situation or something, like, they created you in that sense, but I don't know. That's just me spitballing. I know there's something I was actually looking for because we got to talk about like how we made our team.
Because we all have when our team came together.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have that, but I wonder if like all of our questions are probably different.
I think
they're all different. Yeah, so all the playbooks, because I read through all of them, they all have different questions for these, but it's when our team first came together, what happened, relationships where you list a few people, and then influence, which I think has to do with mechanics, but it's, you give influence to some of your teammates and they have influence over you.
Yeah, which is a big thing in this game because like all adults have influence over you to start with, and once you're free of your influence, you gain certain things. So yeah, I think we can leave our backstory a little bit vague for now. We don't have to all come up with that together. It technically, I think this assumes that like you've done this before. You come to the table and then you introduce your backstory to the rest of the players. We can do that on our own time. Unless you guys all want to sit here in silence for the next 15 minutes and write your backstory, and then we'll all come back like a school classroom.
A writing exercise.
Yeah.
All right, we do writing cameras where we just put cameras and roll.
Yeah.
We're going to put links to Google Docs in the chat, and you'll be able to
follow along as we write our backstories.
Oh my god.
Now that I say that, depending on the person, that might be a thing I would watch.
Yeah. So why don't does everybody have sort of a general sense of like kind of the personality they're going for their character, enough where we could kind of spitball like the whole when our team first came together thing?
I think so.
Okay, and then we can do the relationships and influence, and that's probably a good way. And then we can talk about our moves and stuff if we have time. Is the best way to do it. So let's talk about when our team first came together. So I think we talked about we haven't been doing this long, right? It's like I like the idea of maybe our first team, or when our team first came together, is like the literal moments before we start our first session. Maybe it's like the next day or like a week later, and we're all kind of awkwardly walking around the hallway like, oh my god, I know this about this person now. Who are they?
I would just like to preemptively pose that my question is one of the last ones that we talk about.
Okay, that's fair. And mine assumes that there's some sort of fight involved with us coming together. I'm not sure if the rest of yours do.
Yeah, mine says we saved the life of somebody important.
Okay.
We defeated a dangerous enemy. Who or what was it?
I like the idea. It has to be something where we would all be in the same area. What would bring us all together? And I was thinking like a school event.
Yeah, school assembly for sure.
Pep rally.
The school dance, like the back to school dance.
I like the idea.
The back to school dance.
I like the idea of it being a dance because maybe it was something happening near the dance. Because obviously, if something happens there, then everybody's like, "Who are these superheroes?" And maybe it was something that we were able to deal with quietly enough.
And then also, like, I could be dressed really cute. I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm role playing.
but like, my assumption is something happened. Like we're at the prom or something. Something happens.
Homecoming.
So that's early in the school.
Early in the year, yeah.
The big event will happen in prom later in the year. That'll be the conclusion of our.
Ooh.
Whoa. The boss battle at prom. I like homecoming. That's fun. There's also like pep rallies and other stuff involved in that. So.
Or like a football game or something.
Yeah.
The crowning of the homecoming court.
Yeah. But
What are these things?
I don't know if you guys. I went to like a deep south high school, and this was all like a really big deal for me.
Did you guys not have homecoming
Isn't it
at your
homecoming?
high school?
I didn't really have a real high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
We can skip that story for now, but
okay.
I don't know there a lot of really basic stuff. Like
You're gonna work perfectly for the outsider
You're
then,
gonna
not understand.
So like, it would be like a
To be perfect.
sort of like fall, like first half of the school year, like welcoming everybody back, kind of event, a big dance. There is the school body votes on a court, and you vote on like it's essentially a popularity contest, the homecoming king and queen, and that kind of thing. But I think it's fun for this because it is that kind of like first real huge gathering of everyone of the year. And it kind of like welcoming everyone back to this is our school, this is our home.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
So I like homecoming. That's a very Heroes vibe.
It's almost like they made a movie recently about it.
Huh.
Yeah. So what am I and again, so do we think maybe something bizarre started, like something happened nearby that we heard, like, you know, there were sirens going off, we all chased after, or like maybe something got into the school, we all noticed it when chasing after it, and then sort of like met in the school hallways fighting this thing, and then we're like, what the hell?
So I'll just say that my initial thought was a lot more mundane and again, very Luke Cage-esque, but going and taking out just like a gang's warehouse or something. I don't know if that works for anything else or if we want it to be something less mundane than that for the first thing.
I don't. I guess that's something. Ryan, do you have any preferences on that? We want to amp up to the supernatural, or
well, you're gonna run the first one.
am I running the first one? I thought I was
Yeah.
running this.
You are running this because you're gonna run the first one.
Surprise!
Surprise, mother trucker.
We'll flip a coin.
Will we?
Surprise, I'll run it.
Yeah. Done.
Just kidding.
I don't know. Well, you sound like you were going to say something. Go ahead.
I do sound like that, but I don't know. I sound like that a lot. I don't know. I think I'm trying to think of how to get it from, the school to a warehouse. But we could, we could keep it mundane. It could be just our rival school that's trying to do the whole thing, like stealing our trophy or something like that. And
Ooh,
maybe
yeah, like pranking us.
yeah, they're punking us, but maybe things get out of hand. Maybe they accidentally set fire to something. And so there's a little bit of street level beaten up thuggery, that kind of thing.
I like that. Well,
So,
yeah,
I was gonna say, I think for some of us that if they accidentally set fire to the gym or something, and we're in the middle of a homecoming dance, there's for the opportunity for some of us to be less I'm gonna just outright fight people, and more I just saved half the senior class, homies,
yeah.
So
I like that a lot. I think a fire is a good starting place for the, and then with a little bit of fighting going on in it. Maybe like you said, or maybe kind of going in Alex, some of the people that were involved, or
Maybe
gang
you track
members.
them down to their hideout.
Obviously, Ian beats him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says no girls allowed on the outside.
Yeah, it might be like the known bad element from the other school, and like they went along and they were just going to do a harmless prank, but this one individual is responsible for like throwing a Molotov cocktail instead.
Yeah.
That one guy who takes it too far.
Actually, okay, so not a warehouse. Now I'm kind of picturing that because I don't know. I'm picturing their hangout after this kind of event is they all go to a Sonic. You know what I mean?
We drive down and beat them up in the Sonic parking lot.
You beat them up in the Sonic parking lot.
Did you go to my high school?
Well, I am from the South, so I do have that experience of that's where
A lot of stuff happened at Sonic.
A lot of stuff happens at Sonic. Cool.
I love you, Sonic.
Okay, so the rival school pranking us gets out of hand, starts a fire. We track down the troublemakers, incapacitate them, turn them into the police, that sort of thing, or leave them for the police to find.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I have another question.
Okay.
It's not a question that I think we don't. It's not a question I think we have to answer now, but it's a thing that I want to think about. If we have a rival school, is what is our school mascot, and what is their school mascot?
Yes.
Because in high school, that was very important to me.
Fire and ice.
Because my high school was the Lions.
Like the Beacon
cool.
City, or the North Beacon High torches. I don't know.
We don't have to come up with it right now. I just want to like put that thought out there that like we should have one and they should have one.
The
That's very
torches
important
could
to my high
work
school culture.
because then the person who like lets it get out of hand is like, they're the torches.
Rude.
But yeah, we can figure that out later.
Yeah.
The North Beacon lanterns.
I'm just thinking about it. Like my high school was the Lions, and they took that like very seriously. And like we played "Welcome to the Jungle" at every pep rally, which is not right.
No.
But that's a true story. But yeah.
I don't know.
And our rivals were the Spartans, and it was like a huge deal.
Mine was the Crusaders. So
I don't even remember what.
Well, yeah, you went to Catholic schools. So.
I went to Catholic school and we were the Gators because it used to be an all-girls school, and Lacoste was super popular when they were deciding on the mascot. So that's how we got our mascot.
I like
Gators.
Anyway, so maybe something with like light or like fire. I just wanted to put it out there.
Yeah.
As a thing.
Okay, we'll brainstorm that. We'll put a pin in that for now. So we have sort of when our team first came together. Who has one they think would be good question to do first?
Well, I think this answers it. My question is like, we didn't trust each other at first, but that changed how and why. Like this would probably bring us together. But I don't know if like we didn't trust each other at first, if that applies to the whole team or just like my relationship with the team, or how to interpret that. But I mean, it's a new school year. I think there's a lot of like, of sussing everyone around. Like, it's like, who are my friends, who are not my friends. That happens. That's just kind of natural. So it could just be that too.
And it's also possible that maybe some of us, because some of us are the same year, and might, or at least might run in the same circles where they knew each other and maybe started the superheroing thing together. And so maybe it's not all five of us coming together at the same time. Maybe it's, I could see Savannah's character and like, I don't know, because you're a prep, and then what we have Alex, is yours more of a jock, or are you just doing the? No,
I imagine I still need to decide this. Jock may work out better, but my initial thought was he was in like the, AP/IB program. So again, my initial concept was more intellectual, but may end up changing it to jock just to fit in with the power set a bit better.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess to be fair, I mean, I don't know about everybody's high school experience, and in mine, the like super smart like AP people, like that was like the popular, like the like cool kids in the school. I don't know if everyone's the same, but it doesn't have to be like the jocks and the cheerleaders and like those are the preps and those are like the cool people and stuff. It could be like the smart kids that were going to be doctors and stuff. Yes, Savannah.
Can I just wanted to get a hand raise of real quick. Like junior, Morgan's character is a senior.
Senior.
Senior, Ryan, you're a junior. Okay.
Sophomore. Who most of you probably went to school with. I was probably in the same year as Ryan and Savannah's characters until
I
like
think I just arrived at this school.
well, I like the same year as you guys until until
So
maybe
I probably know you then.
8th grade. Yeah, maybe we knew each other until like 8th grade, and then I got held back, and you went to high school, and then I went.
Oh, you had to do 8th grade again?
I don't know, or
Oh God, that's
Maybe-
literally
no,
the
maybe I
worst
did
thing that could
fresh-
happen
maybe I
to a
did-
human.
maybe I did freshman year again. I think I like doing 2 years of high school rather than 2 years of like grade school. So
Okay. I just wanted to remember the class name.
Lindsay has a cute idea in the chat.
Yeah, aren't foreign exchange students always very popular? Yes, they are.
Are they?
Yeah, because everyone's like, "Oh my god, I love your accent!" And where are you from?
plus you were trying to do all like the popular things and stuff at the time. If we're going with the idea that you were like mimicking stuff, maybe you came
I
in looking like
welcomed
Justin
you.
Bieber.
I gave you a tour of the school.
People say they like my accent, but you haven't heard what accent I'm going to choose yet.
Oh, that's
I'm
adorable.
waiting for you.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
I'm Nada.
Just be adamant that it's Canadian accent.
Oh my goodness.
But okay. So when our team first came together, do we want to come up with those answers right now, or?
No, I think that's something we should do now.
Yeah.
The team first came together. So I like so Ryan, yours was again that what did we do to trust each other?
Yeah, we didn't trust each other at first, but that changed. How? Why?
I like the idea that whatever was going on, we saw the rebel rousers going to the city, going into the school, and we all saw that and quickly like changed our costumes or did whatever we needed to do quickly, and came into the school like the same time and like all kind of ran into the hallway and we're like, the hell are all you weirdos like dressed
Like
up?
Scooby-Doo when they all run into each other.
Yeah, and then like as we're trying to figure out what's going on, we see the fire start and are like, oh, we need to go stop this to get like, this is what we're here to do. We gotta stop these people. It doesn't matter like what's going on. Like, I don't know who you are. I don't know why you're doing this, but
That moment of like, well, like, oh, I vaguely recognize all of you, and we all run in different crowds, but we have the same goal, which is not to let the gym burn down, probably.
yeah, I like that. I don't know if you want to do something more specific than that, but I think the fire is a good reason that we started to trust each other, or the mutual threat.
That sort of like, these are my only allies in a state of emergency.
We are the ones who run towards the
And then,
danger,
yeah.
not away.
And not
And we
just
find each
that,
other.
we also probably thought we were like super weird until like we know that we're not the only people with powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then it's like someone we can share the secret with.
Like I like the idea for the first like 10 seconds we're all running down the hallway, we all have to pretend like we don't have powers and come up with a good excuse while we're running around in costume. And then
Wait, here's
one
the
of
thing
us had
that
to use our powers first.
that's the thing I want to know. Who did it first? Because I have the strong
who was the hero
suspicion that it
first?
was probably either me or Alex.
Yeah, I'm thinking mine would probably be like we're running down the hallway and it's like running towards a door that's chained or locked or something. Just shoulders it down. And like it just goes flying off the hinges because he doesn't have time for restraint.
We all just look around at each other going, you too?
So we could do this.
That's cute.
We could do this several ways, but we could do. This is the first time that maybe we could either have been doing some vigilante stuff on our own before now, and some of us, this might be the first time we've ever done anything like this, and I'm saying that just because some of us might have costumes, some of us might not yet, and we'll have only made one after this event. We're like, okay, want to start doing this. I don't think that really changes the conversation too much right now, but just saying that like you might might be your first time or it might not be.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I imagine I've been using my powers for a lot of stuff, but maybe not helping people much. Maybe helping people indirectly. Like I see a bully take something from somebody, I teleport, take it back, put it back in the other person's locker, something like that.
I feel very similarly in like the use of memory manipulation, which is like, oh, I see somebody do something that's like super embarrassing or something like that, and I'm just kind of like, no one saw that. You're fine. Kind of things like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, you said I got a B on the test? I think it was an A.
Oh no, well, I don't do that because I always get A's.
Gross. Anyway, so all right.
But I think stuff like that, kind of like inadvertently helping mostly myself and also other people, or like, oh, you're about to drop your books. What a little psychic platform to keep it from hitting the ground. You don't know who did it.
Yeah.
I imagine my guy's been doing more like actual vigilanteism stuff, but probably nothing too big yet. But like just finding a drug dealer on a street corner and like scaring him away and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think for Muta Boy, I think there's a bit of him. I don't think he's really. I think he's just trying to be helpful all the time and doesn't really. I think because of his origin, I think he's learning that maybe you don't like show off this stuff. Like maybe you might want to keep it to yourself. And so like I can see him like, you know, one thing like some early stuff where people are like, oh no, I locked my keys in my car, and he just like reaches his hand through and like unlocks it from the other end, and like whatever his voice is, there you go, and like, and they're, you know, that kind of stuff, but not actual like crime fighting or anything. Like,
Also, I think I use my super speed to always be a class first.
Oh
Make
yeah.
a good impression.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I can fly. I should have forgotten.
Also, you can fly, boy.
What?
I'm a flyby. Yeah, I can fly.
So who is another? I want to keep the conversation moving, get through everybody's stuff. Who is another question?
Mine has that we saved somebody.
Okay,
Most of the school.
I think that's a good. I like it being something specific though. I want to
Yeah. It said who was it and why are they important?
Guys, the
Important
homecoming
to the
queen.
city.
It's probably you. And then they're like, and now Olivia. Where's Olivia?
Surprise!
I like
no,
the idea
I'm
that
only
maybe
a junior.
I want a sort of a Professor Xavier figure in this. There's some like teacher that that's like really liked by the school, or maybe a strange teacher that maybe none of us, maybe most of the school doesn't like, but for some reason we all really like them. And
Or because the
Lindsay-
chat was saying the same thing that I was thinking, which is like
Same.
the cool janitor who has
I
all
was
the
thinking
keys
the
to
janitor,
everything.
too. Well, the janitor was the first thing that came to my mind because I was thinking someone who's in our school's trophy room when it gets set on fire, like.
And we save all
But-
that history.
Yeah, and so like I was trying to think who would actually be there, and I think the janitor makes sense to me.
Yeah,
that's fair.
like the cool janitor. That
They were
everybody
cleaning
likes,
up
but-
after the pep rally and stuff, and they were there late, and maybe they're really nice and have been like super kind to us at some point in our history at the school. And
They should
so,
have a name though. I don't want to just call him the janitor forever.
what do we name the janitor then?
Janet.
Janet the janitor. Okay.
Aw.
No.
No, we're going with that.
No, and Morgan explicitly said no.
I didn't think of anything, so I have nothing better.
Just like
One or two
no.
ends.
It's like,
Jeanette.
One. Janet. I like it. Let's do it.
And her last name was Tor. Janet Tor, the janitor.
Secretly
if
the
we
most
don't-
powerful of us.
If we don't want to be that blatant, we could go last name like Torres, Torres.
Oh, that's
Janet
good. That's good. Yeah.
Torres, the janitor.
We love you, Janet.
I like it.
Damn it, Janet. We love you.
The last name could just be just Or too. Just Or.
Or.
Janet Or.
Yeah, I have seen ORR as the last name.
Yep. I'll go with
We're good at this.
Jeanette Torres.
I like it.
Yep.
Yes, cool
Okay.
janitor Jeanette.
Yep.
Okay. I've got a question too because Mr. Man wants to go last. Mine is: we totally broke some major rules to win the fight. What rules do we break? Whose rules were they?
The school
And-
rules.
Oh, man.
Probably at least a few laws in terms of property damage, but that's probably not what the question's really asking.
I mean, you definitely broke some stuff.
Well, I think the rules are someone on our team's rules. I like the idea of it's
Oh.
somebody has a personal code or something that they didn't want to do, and I was like pushing us like we gotta do this in order to actually like this is not how my character's going to talk, but how we have to do this in order to actually stop this problem. And I imagine the people that are going to have the most rules are probably Savannah and Morgan's characters. Just the nature of the Janus, and then how Savannah has built up her preppy know-it-all character.
Image. I think I was probably at first sort of very averse to anyone seeing us.
Oh yeah.
In our
And then
alternate
when we
forms.
fought people in the Sonic parking lot, there were some
and
kids
saying,
there
like, they are going to
I mean, we're
recognize
gonna be on
us.
social
Well,
media.
me, they're going to recognize at least me, and
For sure, you.
for sure me, and maybe our foreign exchange student friend. I don't know, but I just like, do we really want that kind of publicity?
I like the idea that we're starting this like just as maybe this video is starting to go viral and people are starting to like, and we're all kind of having this oh shit like moment, like people just saw us fight people, like what if somebody recognizes us, somebody's gonna know like all I was wearing was a mask, like there's no way they're not gonna know it's me. And then that
The
city
one good
buildup,
part of Green Lantern, like you're just wearing an eye mask. I know your cheekbones.
yeah. But like, and you know, but nobody figures this out. And the longer it goes on for people, like nobody's pointing at me and saying you're that person on TV. So we broke Olivia. Is that your character's name?
It is.
Okay. We broke Olivia's rules by letting people see us. Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
And we've kind of answered mine already. Defeated a dangerous enemy. Who or what was it? You know, just the person from the other school who takes things too far.
Okay.
And they probably have a posse who's not at their school who met up with them at Sonic. And so more of the rough types than the ones who were actually there committing the prank.
Okay. And Savannah, you think you're the one that hasn't? Or no, Ryan, did you do your question? No, you did. Yours was the first one.
The trust.
Is it just me?
Yeah, it's just you.
Okay, my question makes a whole lot more sense now that we have all these circumstances. But mine is, when our team first came together, we paid a high cost for victory. What was it?
Our anonymity, like not total anonymity, but like people know they're kids running around with powers now.
I just think that question makes so much more sense now than like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think most of us might have been doing this like in the shadows, doing little things down there, and
Yeah.
now like we are on TV, and people are like, "Who are these masked figures?" And the police are like, "We gotta track these people down. Vigilantism is bad," and that whole thing. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we did all the first things. So we went with the relationships and influence, and that'll wrap up our kind of that part of it. We can talk a little bit if we have time after about which labels we chose and delinquent or in our moves and stuff. Okay, so relationships. I think we all have. What do we all have? One or two? Does everybody have relationships?
I have two, and
I
mine
have
are
two.
yeah. The Bulls relationships are interesting.
I like the Bulls
different from
one.
most of the others.
I'll start because I've been going last with everything and kind of break the ice with it. So I have two. It's you keep trying to impress blank with your antics. And you and blank pulled off an awesome, if illegal, stunt together. And I'm trying to decide who would have been the most likely to do something illegal. Who would have been inclined to do something rule breaking?
My guess would be Lambast or me out of ignorance.
Yeah, I would say based on what I've been thinking from my relationships, probably going with Mutaboy for that out of ignorance.
I like the idea that maybe it's something, because I don't think it's a superhero thing that we just met, but I like the idea that maybe it was something at school, like the new kid was there and I convinced you like, hey, come help me with this thing. Like, you're cool. Come help me do this thing. And you not really knowing what it was and pulling some prank, like, I don't know, filling one of the teachers.
Putting dead fish in the other school's air conditioner.
I was thinking like filling one of the teachers' cars with popcorn.
On a hot day.
On a hot day or something like that. And you just kind of went along with it.
We are having fun.
All right. All right. And then the other one.
Dog weed. I don't know if you're that much of a delinquent.
Oh, geez. No, I think Rose definitely smokes pot, but I don't think she would waste it on the dog. Also, would be worried about the dog's health.
Well, not to ingest or smoke, but to sell. because the dog's going. The prank is store some on the dog, so when it goes through customs on a flight, it's
It's the longest con.
and pulls Rover over.
Oh my gosh.
Going to the pound, pup, for a long, long time.
And then I think as far as trying to impress somebody with my antics, I kind of like going off the idea because Savannah, I said that we might have been the same grade and you were the popular one, so I like the idea of maybe I was like, maybe we were friends at some point and maybe subconsciously I was like, I'd do that, not like making it known or anything, but maybe that's the like subtle reason why I do a lot of the shitty things I do in school.
To impress me.
Or maybe just to get your attention, because now you're focusing on all your weird popular things and wearing pink all the time and stuff, which isn't fun.
I don't wear pink all the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think that's
Wednesdays.
Just on Wednesdays and also saving the world days.
Yeah. So I think you're a bit of a tool now, and I'm trying to get your attention and make you less of a
such a tool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, so those are mine. Next.
Maybe I should go because my relationships are also, they have a mechanic component to them as well, kind of. So with the bull, there's this thing called the bull's heart. You always have exactly one love and one rival. You can change your love or rival at any time, give the new subject of your affections or disdain influence over you, take +1 ongoing to any action that impresses your love or frustrates your rival. And there are a couple things with that. Choose a role you commonly fulfill. You can be a defender, bonuses to defending them, friend, bonuses to comforting and supporting, listener, bonuses to piercing mask, enabler, bonuses to provoking. But so under relationships, there's blank is your love. You've opened up to them about the worst parts of your past, and blank is your rival. They tried to control you at a crucial moment. So what I was saying when you were doing yours, Sean, is I think that Rose is my rival to start because I can see that you're just a total slacker, and it's like, if you just applied yourself, you wouldn't be behind in grades. You could be doing so much better. And so it's just kind of sees you as wasted potential and just finds that reprehensible.
Okay.
So at least starting off as my rival, but now who as the love? Gets opened up to them about the worst parts of your past. I think probably going with probably with Morgan's character, which we need to get a non-mask name so we can call them that.
Oh, I know.
But I think probably
I'm looking at names.
Probably at least in terms of, I'm trying to think how much I want to reveal now for the stream and how much should be kept a secret. But basically, something very bad happened to Ian over the summer before coming back for senior year. And while people kind of know the generalities of what happened, he probably only told your character, the details of what happened.
Aww.
So I think that is how my relationships are going. So starting off with Morgan's character as my love and Sean's character as my rival.
Awesome. All right, next.
I'll go, but I have a question, like a clarification question before I start.
Yes.
I would like to clarify what Alex and Ryan's characters look like on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm. I think Ian probably used to put in more effort into how he looked, but after the summer so far this year, it's just been throwing on a t-shirt that may or may not have been washed and just the same pair of jeans for most of the same week.
Okay.
I think my character. I think it just looks Euro. I think. I'm thinking kind of. Basically like a soccer player, I guess. But in
Okay.
kind of whatever that kind of like athletic casual, probably.
I'm thinking of the
What's
episode
your name?
Community with the German soccer players.
That's not Mutaboy.
My real.
What is your human name?
My human name.
Your fake human name, you alien.
Borb.
Let's see. Let me think.
I mean, we could go Martian Manhunter and Miss Martian, and it's like John and McGann and Megan. I mean, I made a joke earlier in the chat about it being Bob and being Bob.
If you don't have one, that's okay. I don't want to force you to come up with a name.
I don't have one right this second. But
Okay, that's okay.
Get one.
That's the information I needed. My relationship questions are, I told blank all about my doom and the danger I'm in. And I think it was Morgan's character.
Oh.
I think she's also my buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Trustworthy buddy.
Yeah, because one of my relationships is Blank knew you from civilian life first. So I think that goes along. Like, we knew each other beforehand and we're kind of buddies.
I think so. My other question is, I'd love to kiss blank before my doom comes.
Ooh.
And it's 100% Ryan's character who looks like a soccer player.
Okay. All right. Help me pick out the name though, because it's got to be a good name then.
What's a good soccer player name?
I'm trying to not just do the actually famous soccer players.
I don't know. I know one famous soccer player, but it's also the name of a soccer player I went to high school with. I don't want to name you after that person.
David.
No, that's literally the only one I didn't want to do. You're not. You can't be named David.
Bruno.
Yes.
That's maybe.
Maybe.
But for I want to. What am I thinking of? What about like, I don't know, something just like.
Hans.
Sven.
Sebastian.
We could. You salty dog. Hold on. All right, give me a second. I'll come back for that.
Okay.
I'll have something.
Anyway, I confided in Morgan's character about my doom, and I definitely want to kiss Ryan's character before I die.
Okay.
I'm thinking Lucas.
Lucas.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh.
Okay. Who hasn't done their questions yet? Their relationships.
Let's see. The second part of mine. So like, Blank knew you from your civilian life first. That's Olivia, and then you refused to tell Blank your secret identity when they asked. And I probably didn't tell Rose when she asked me. Like maybe.
So maybe I don't know. You're saying maybe I like the idea. Maybe not all of us know that the others are superheroes yet. Maybe some of us were able to pick out and figure out who is who. And but after we saved the day, we were all like, we have to meet up again, like in character, in our costumes and stuff. And we still haven't revealed who we are to everyone yet.
Yeah.
Some of us might be more brazen with it than others. Like I think Rose is literally wearing a hoodie. Like
I don't wear a mask or anything. Like
okay,
it's
so I think
just
we definitely
me in
know
a fancy like crop top and skirt, a circlet. Like
yeah. So I think we definitely know who you are.
Yeah, where I definitely wear a mask. That's like part of one of my things is that my identity is hidden, at least for a while. So
okay. So you didn't tell me who you were. So does that make the assumption that everyone else knows who you are except for me?
Oh, I don't know.
Or that you just refused me, like specifically I asked, and I guess it's up to everybody else whether they would have asked or not.
I think I probably know.
Yeah.
Well, you confided your doom.
Yeah, but you know about my doom, so
yeah. So we probably went into like the first situation, like knowing, like the two of us, like, oh, we should do this.
we were like, yeah, homecoming team.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah. And then I imagine that Morgan's and my characters are decent enough friends outside of the mask life, and just it doesn't take very long to be like, wait, like the right height and build and the sound of your voice.
Yeah. Or maybe Lindsay pointed out to avoid awkwardness later on where like we don't know each other in and out of characters and we have to deal with all that mess. We could say that like you and I ran into each other in like before the fire while we were out superhero.
Oh.
And I was like, I found somebody who's like me. Hey, like this is who I am. Tell me who you are. And you were just like, no, peace. And then later on we met, revealed everything, and I was like, dick. You didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
If you like that, I like that. Because that makes things simple later on.
Yeah, because I feel like as part of this, like she's like, because part of like one of the later things that happen is that in the Janice like the moment of truth is like the mask comes off, and so like slowly building towards that. So I feel like when she first starts out, like she wouldn't have told anybody, but then this incident happened where we're all together, so she's like slowly like, okay, I guess I should tell other people. But
yeah,
so
I like
you can do it.
Progression.
Make friends. That's me.
But I probably still hold it against you a bit at this point.
Like, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Are you going to tell me? Then that sort of stuff. Okay. Do you have and that's your first question?
Those are the two.
Okay. Okay. Who hasn't done? Is that just Ryan now that hasn't done theirs?
You've been learning about Earth by spending time with. Okay. Alrighty.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm the junior class president and also in charge of giving you a tour of our school today.
Fantastic. Perfect. You have a crush on blank, but you keep it under wraps. And I kind of want to keep it under wraps.
Okay. That's fair.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay. So that's everyone's relationships. And I think we have influence now. Everybody gets to give one influence to, or give some influence to people.
So with my influence, it's a little bit different. I choose my demeanor. If I'm haughty or cheerful, if I'm haughty, you think you're better than everyone. I give no influence. If I'm cheerful, I'm thrilled to be here, and everyone has influence over me. And I think I do better playing cheerful, so that's what I'm going to go. So everyone has influence over me.
Okay. Which explains a lot about the popcorn situation.
All right.
What was the name you went with again?
Lucas.
I can't spell Lucas. A-S. Right, there you go.
Do you spell it with a C or
C
a
or K?
Oh, that's a good question.
He doesn't know. He's like,
It's just the name he
of course,
invented.
yes.
I spell it with a K.
Same. Lucas. My name is Lucas.
It's both. It's
Olivia spells it with a K.
Luckas.
With a K.
Okay. And who wants to go next?
Mine's pretty simple. It's just, I can read the wording. You're selective about who you let in, give your love and rival influence over you, but that's it. So Rose and Morgan's character have influence over me.
So that's
Ian
That's right.
/ Lambast. I need to figure out where the emphasis is on that.
Lambist.
I think it's Lambast.
Lambist.
Lambus bread.
Lamb.
Next.
I'll go.
Okay, go.
Mine is, these people matter for what you need to do. Give influence to 2 of your teammates. I'm going to give one to Morgan's character. And one to Rose.
Okay. I'll go for this one. So mine is, you care way more than you let on. Give 3 teammates influence over you. And it's a pretty much, I just narrowed it by the backstory now, because I'm pretty sure the only person that wouldn't have influence over me is Lucas. So the other 3 of you gain influence over me because I think you care more about you than I behave.
Okay.
All right. And Morgan.
Yeah. Okay. And so mine is, you look up to your teammates. They seem to have this superhero thing figured out. Give 2 of them influence over you. Yeah. So I think Olivia, I like looking at her like she's got it so together. She totally's got this. As well as Lucas.
Does Olivia have influence over everyone now?
Maybe.
That's like literally her whole thing. So, class
She doesn't have
president
influence over me.
2056.
I was like, this is the first influence that I have. So thank you.
There you go. Yeah, like he's just this outsider, like, oh, he brings this new perspective on things. Also, I like the name Kiki.
Kiki, love it.
So
Yeah.
I like that too.
yep. I'll figure out what the full name is, but I feel like everybody calls her Kiki.
So, kind of to explain, we haven't talked about mechanics and stuff. So, influence is something. There's a move involved, like there's a comfort and support move, and then you can like take advantage of your influence as well. So, You can surrender influence you hold over somebody and give them a -2 on a move they do, inflict a condition on them, or take an additional +1. Like you can use your influence to gain some sort of advantage over them at a crucial moment, but then after you spend it, it's gone. And you can gain influence later on and stuff. You can also reject influence at any point except for this one. So later on, there's a chance that somebody might gain influence over you, and you can attempt to reject it if you. Or no, it's yeah. You can, if you have influence over, if somebody has influence over you, you can try to reject it, and you can gain certain things.
Is this in addition to the? Because there's a little influence over section on the character sheet.
That's where you would put, if you have influence over somebody, that's where you should put it right now.
But that's not, if I'm interpreting what you're saying correctly, that's not forever. Like once you
get rid of it, it's
use
gone.
it, then it's, so it's like, this is like add +1 to all rolls that target these people. So
yeah.
once I use my influence on someone, like that's
gone. Yeah.
Okay.
You can use it at a crucial moment if you need to, but otherwise you get +1 to rolls against them. So it's useful to hold on to. And I think that's it. So it's, I assume pretty much everybody else, you have to choose your labels. So you pretty much, I think it's mostly determined, and then you get to add one or kind of tweak it in some way that you want to. The labels in this game are like the stats. So there's danger, freak, savior, superior, and mundane, and they each have their own abilities that go along with it. So danger lets you like sort of you engage something, you're dealing with a problem head on. Freak is the ability used to unleash your powers. So anytime in the game you want to use the powers you have, you roll freak. Savior, using to protect people. Superior, using to assess the situation, provoke somebody, make them do things, or gain kind of control of your environment. Let's see. And mundane is used in the comfort and support moves to kind of, it's more like an insight based thing, more like interpersonal interactions, I think is where that would go. So for instance, I'll say with mine as the delinquent, I start with a 0 in danger and freak, a -1 in savior, a +2 in superior, and a +1 in mundane. And then I get to add +1 to wherever I choose, and I add a +1 to freak. None of the stats can go above a +3, so these stats will change constantly throughout the game. You may start with a really high superior or a really high savior, and it may go down to -2 depending on what happens during the game, and it'll go up and down. If at any point your let's say you have danger at +3 and you get something that would make it a +4, you gain a condition. So that's essentially it's a bad thing. You've reached the limits of where you're at, and you may become angry or afraid or guilty at something in some way for what happens, and realizing like this is the limits of where I'm at. At the same time, if you hit -2 and then you were to go down -3, you gain a condition there too. And then later on, there are certain moves you can do. I think there's an advancement where you get to permanently lock one of your skills, so that it'll never change. And that's like signifies you're kind of solidifying who you are in that moment. I think that's the moment of truth is what does that, but I don't know where there's a lot of things going on. Anybody want to talk about moves they're thinking about picking? Except for Savannah, because you don't have it.
I have questions about that because my class actually, or my playbook doesn't actually get moves.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about that once you guys talk about your moves.
I don't know. I'm deciding. I like the name of one of mine where it's just physics. What physics? When you unleash your powers, which is a move to barrel through an insurmountable barrier, roll +danger instead of +freak. So I might go with that because, well, we'll see. I need to decide on these.
Should I go first?
You can.
Since mine's kind of solidified.
Sure.
If you guys want to think about your moves. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about my class then. So the Doomed from the playbook doesn't actually get moves, which most, if not all of the other playbooks get, and also are a pretty popular mechanic in most of the Power by the Apocalypse games. I get the basic moves and everything like that, or their equivalent in this game, but instead of moves, I get Doom and Doom signs. So essentially, you're doomed. Your powers may be killing you, or maybe you're hunted ruthlessly, or maybe you embody an apocalypse. But one way or another, your future is grim. What brings your doom closer? And I get to choose two things. Two things which I have already chosen, so I guess I will share those. So the two things that I chose from my list that bring my doom closer to me are overexerting myself and facing danger alone. So if any of those two things happen, I have to mark boxes on my doom tracker, which has 5 very scary sort of Eldritch Horror Call of Cthulhu boxes that you have to mark. And once I fill my doom tracker, I get doom signs, which are abilities that come to me with my approaching doom. So as my doom gets closer to me, I get cool abilities like visions and portals and all kinds of fun stuff that we'll get into later, and I don't want to spoil right now. Unless you want to get the playbooks and read them for yourself, which you should totally do. And then eventually, once I've filled up my Doom tracker enough times and used my Doom powers enough, and gotten all of my Doom signs, my Doom comes for me. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I don't get moves. I just continue to move closer to my inevitable doom. And I get cool, creepy powers because of it.
No, that's I like the mechanic of that class a lot.
But yeah, so I chose, what did I just choose? Overexerting myself and facing danger alone are the two off my list that will bring my doom ever closer to my inevitable demise.
Okay, I think I've decided on mine for the bowl. I think I'm going to take thick and thin skinned. Whenever you have angry marked, which is a condition, take +1 ongoing to unleash your powers. And then I am still deciding between I can punch everyone when you charge into a fight without hedging your bets. You can shift your danger up and any other label down. And there, when it matters, when you defend someone on a hit, you can hold one instead of choosing one from the list. Spend your hold when they are in danger to arrive on the scene ready to help. I think for starting off, it'll make more sense to have punch everyone. And I'll probably take there when it matters for an advancement somewhere down the line.
Okay. Let's see. Morgan, Ryan, any thoughts on yours?
I think I need to read the rules because there's a lot of wording here that I don't understand.
You want to talk about it a bit and say I don't know it very well, but I might be able to help.
So like, what does it mean? Okay, so it says like, I'm looking here. One of the moves is mild mannered, and so it says roll plus mundane. On a hit, they buy your facade. So what does a hit mean?
Typically, that means you succeed on the roll.
Okay.
So on a hit, is anything above a 6 or no? Is anything a 7 or up is a hit. If and then it gives you like on a 10 plus. So if you roll really well, you also take like you gain some additional effect, and then a 6 to 9 is like a partial success. But a hit just means you rolled above a 6.
Okay, so in general, yeah, you're just trying to roll.
Yeah, because everything is 2d6. Yeah, and
okay.
Everything is 2d6, and essentially anytime you roll, you are just trying to roll above a 6. So essentially a slightly above average for 2 dice, and then
Okay, and then whatever label you use for that roll just gets added to it.
Yeah. So
okay, this makes a lot more sense. I should have asked this sooner.
Yeah, and that's and don't be worried about. I mean, that just comes from playing. That's the Powered by the Apocalypse system. It's just there are no like your modifiers don't really change. You don't roll d20s and get those like absurdly high numbers and stuff because there aren't armor classes. Just anytime you roll, go on 2d6 plus one of your stats, which will be something between a -3 and a +3, and then if you just want to roll above a 6, and then if you really want to roll above a 10, because that's when you get the best options. But this system has that 7 to 9 category, is that mixed success. You get a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, or you just don't get as good as you would have hoped. So does that help a little bit?
That helps a lot, because I was just like, it just wasn't quite clicking, but now I get it.
Okay.
So I haven't picked which ones I want yet. Then I'm gonna read back through these.
Okay, Ryan, there was something I think you were gonna say you were thinking about.
Sure. For the outsider moves, I get to pick 3. I'm gonna go for Belong in Two Worlds, Alien Tech, and Kirby Craft. For Belong in Two Worlds, basically you have the resources that come with your station. Whenever you contact your people, roll plus superior on a 10+, blah 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 blah. You can receive useful pieces of alien technology that will allow you to use any ability from another playbook once, and then or you can consult with knowledge and stuff on that. Alien tech is I can alter human devices with alien tech. I can create a device that can do something impossible once and then fizzle if I roll well enough. And then Kirby Craft is you have a vehicle, something from your home. Detail its look, choose 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses. When you are flying your ship, you can use it to unleash your powers, directly engage a threat, or defend someone using superior. So for the strengths, it's got fast and maneuverable, chameleon plating, powerful weaponry, regenerating, dimension shifting, size shifting, and telepathic. I'm kind of into dimension shifting and size shifting, but that will kind of depend on where we're going. And then weaknesses, there's bizarre fuel source, susceptible to fill in the blank, easily detectable, slow and clumsy, unarmed, difficult to repair. So
okay, I like this all secret alien stuff that you have, though, just that you brought from whatever planet or time
it's like
or
Phil of the future
dimension you're from. Yeah,
these are very popular in Canada.
That's gonna be fun to play out. I'm just really
snowmobile I've ever seen.
I was thinking about this before and how we're gonna play this out with you and I co-DMing, Ryan, because are our characters ever gonna interact with each other? The one great thing about the system, I think, the one reason I'm really psyched about the co-DMing is that there isn't that instinct as a DM where like I can't touch my character when I'm DMing because you don't roll as a DM. I don't gain XP, I don't roll, I don't anything. So I can technically have my character then in a situation and they just do stuff, and you can do the same thing with yours. Like they don't have to be out of the game just because they're just not roll. You just don't roll anything or gain anything through their actions.
You guys have found a way to do the DMPC.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, this game makes it a little bit easier. They just turn into a pure NPC in that moment, and there's no pro or con into running them. So, because we were talking about before, like each time we run a game, does our character just have to mysteriously disappear? And that might be the easiest way to do it sometimes. That's why that's kind of why I chose the delinquent, because I can just like teleport away and just like say screw this shit. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. Anyway, I was just thinking about that before. Is like, unless any of the other 3 of you decide you want to run a session, which also Brian and I don't have to be the only ones running sessions for this. We will never get to roll against each other. Anyway, that's a sidebar there. We got about 8 minutes before we have to call it. But anybody else want to talk about their moves? I had I'm talking about mine if nobody else is looking at theirs. So I guess Morgan's the only one that hasn't talked about hers because she's reading them.
Yeah, I'm still figuring that out.
So I'll talk about mine because I'm the only one stalling. So I was going to go, there are two I'm definitely taking. One of them is Mary Contrary, which is when someone tries to pierce your mask, comfort or support you or provoke you, you can interfere. Roll plus superior. On a hit, they take -2 to their roll. On a 10 plus, I also take influence over them or clear condition, my choice. On a miss, they get a 10 plus no matter what they rolled, and I mark a condition. So I can risk it, and potentially, if I fail, you automatically get to know whatever it is you wanted. If I succeed, I can get some cool stuff. And then I'm definitely taking Are You Watching Closely, which is when you mislead, distract, or trick someone, roll plus superior. On a hit, they are fooled, at least for a moment. On a 10 plus, I choose 3. On a 7 9, I choose 2. And I can choose you get an opportunity, you expose a weakness or flaw, you confuse them for some time, you avoid further entanglement. If I miss, then I'm hopelessly embroiled in it. Under pressure, marking condition. And then there are 2 others that I was thinking of. I got to choose one. I was hoping you guys might be able to help. Let's see. There's one is Criminal Mind, which is when you assess the situation, you can always ask one of the following questions, even on a miss. What here is useful or valuable to me? How could I best infuriate or provoke blank? Or what's the best way in/way past? The other one is Troublemaker, which is when you help a teammate through destructive, criminal, or rule-breaking actions, you can give them a +2 instead of +1 when you spend a team from the pool. And that's something we haven't really talked about yet. There's a pool of resources that we all have when we're acting together, which is our team pool, and we can spend points from that or dice from that and do things. We haven't really talked about that. We'll get more into it when we actually play. So I was one of them kind of helps facilitate the team building stuff and doing things together. The other one solidifies my role as a budding criminal.
If I had a choice, the second one, where you encourage the rest of us to be criminals,
Yeah.
it would be. I think that's super interesting.
Yeah.
Based on the makeup of the group. I think is super cool and super fun, and also always provides a little bit of that kind of pull and tug conflict that
there is one that's kind of counter to that. That's team. What team? And I gain a +1 forward every time that I try to help. So I gain something when I try to help people. But yeah, it's just funny. Yeah, that's a good
like
point.
The one that supports
doing some team building stuff, doing things together instead of just doing things that help me. I think so too. I think for this game,
I like it, but it's also fun and kind of ooh.
Yeah.
You did a maybe bad thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go with Mary Contrary, Troublemaker, and Are You Watching Closely then? Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Morgan, I'm sure you probably have to read more unless there's anything.
No, I think I've kind of figured it out. Okay, so one is I start out with the mask, and essentially I pick a label that I embody when I'm wearing the mask, and so I get to pick from Freak, Danger, Savior, or Superior. And once per session, I can affirm either my heroic or secret identity to switch my mundane with my mask's label. So I could from what I understand, I switch the modifier once per session.
Okay.
It's what I think it's saying.
Let me see. I'm actually going to pull up your thing here because you're...
Because my mundane is +3.
Oh yeah, because your mundane is super high. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to essentially you pick one of those, and you can essentially choose to use your mundane score instead of whatever it is that you picked. So if you pick danger, when you go to roll danger at some point, you get to do +3 instead of whatever your danger is. That's really cool. Yeah.
So that's like the standard one. And then
Okay, you get that one automatically. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I have to take that one. And then one of the ones that I am thinking about taking is mild-mannered. When you try to use your civilian identity to deceive, trick, or slip past someone, roll plus mundane. On a hit, they buy your facade. If not, on a mixed result is I'm either still under observation, I leave something incriminating behind, or I'm forced to make a fool of myself and sell it. And then, but on a miss, one of my civilian obligations rears its ugly head, which I didn't mention earlier, but part of having like the two-face concept of this, like my secret identity, is that I also have these obligations apart from being a superhero. So like jobs or like social or like stuff at home. And every once in a while, it says when time passes, I have to roll to see how well I'm managing these obligations. And whether things are going like I'm managing life or everything's out of control. So I think that's an interesting part. So mild-mannered is one, and then I also like game face, which is when you commit yourself to save someone or defeat a terrible enemy, mark a condition, and take +1 ongoing to all rolls in direct pursuit of that goal. At the end of any scene in which you don't make progress towards that goal, mark a condition. When you fulfill your goal, mark potential. It was kind of like you have this like ongoing goal that you're trying to reach.
Okay, so you decide something and so you have to like constantly trying to push for defeating that enemy or stopping this specific.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I like that one. So I think those are the two.
All right.
And then the math, so I guess 3.
Okay. So all right, so that's everyone then, having picked their moves or lack of moves. And so I guess our only homework, sticking with the high school theme, is to do your backstory and solve problems 8 through 10 in the assigned reading. Any last minute questions before we close it here for tonight? No? Okay. Well, that's it then, and we'll talk about this more. Obviously, you guys, your questions, we'll talk about it more throughout the week and as we get things ready to go. Everyone else out there, thank you for watching and participating in our session 0s. We're building everything today. We're very excited to play this game. So we'll be back in 2 weeks to do our first session of this that Ryan will be running. I'm just kidding. I'll run it if you want me to. But we will we'll be same time, same place here on GGameKnights. And you can check that out. Just a couple of other announcements. We've got Survivors Complex on Saturday, and then Wild Space next Monday. And just a reminder, so for we won't have Apocrypha for a while. We're gonna take a hiatus from that and from Tidefall for a little bit, and fill the void with superhero goodness. That's Savannah's there another.
If you want to, since this is existing in the same general universe as Wonderworld, if you want to know what we're talking about, that whole mini arc is available on our YouTube for your viewing pleasure, featuring me and Alex and Sean and some other fun friends that kind of come in and out to play superheroes with us. So if you want to see the first iteration of Wonderworld, youtube.com/GoGameKnights with 2 G's. You can hang out with us in our first iteration of that and then come and see the origin story.
Yep. Yes, you can. Obviously different system there, but still a lot of fun. You get an idea of what
the cipher system.
Yeah. Which was fun.
And has like a 500-page rule book.
Yeah, a lot of rules.
Or something. But it was fun. Everyone should watch it. Our characters were great.
Yeah. All right. We will go ahead and end it there for tonight. Thank you all out there for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel like. And we will see you next time. And until then, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night,
Night,
internet.
internet.